Hey, and welcome to the podcast. It's Fan the Flames podcast for March 22nd. I'm Dan. That's
I'm Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Hey, Nate. Say Silk.
Silk?
What do cows drink?
Water.
Oh, almost. I saw you moving. You were going to say it.
I've heard that one.
You know that one? All right.
Yeah. But
Just trying something new. But
you have to wake up pretty early in the morning to fool me, my friend.
I suppose. But guess who wasn't fooled?
The Flames?
That's right. The Flames were not fooled. They've been winning pretty well of lately. And we'll get into that. We got some Flames talk, last 4 games. That includes the likes of Ottawa, Columbus, Winnipeg.
Yeah. We'll get into some game summaries. That'll be good.
Maybe meet a mascot later.
Of course.
And look at the standings and some numbers facing us, moving on to this home stretch.
Yes, I like numbers.
Don't we all?
What's your favorite number?
69.
You know, that's how many points Mark Giordano has right now.
Yep. Sitting pretty at 69, close to 70. And what was that? When, there's no if, but when he reaches 70, there'll be 5 Flames members with over 70 points or over.
Yeah, 5 players on the same team with 70 plus points.
And was it either Rick Ball or Kelly Rudy informed us that this hasn't happened since sometime in the 80s for Pittsburgh?
No, it was 2001, I think they said, but it was Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I think it was around the time Yager and Lemieux were playing together. So that's pretty fine company to be in if you're comparing yourself to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, definitely. So with all that, it's quite clear Flames are doing awesome this year.
Yeah, and this last week was a great week.
Yes, it's a really good year to be a Flames fan, but we've been talking that all throughout the year.
We're spoiled. I'm getting too used to winning. It's like, okay, another win.
Now, when you're spoiled is when you're no longer concerned about the playoff race. When you've clinched with at least 10 games left, which we have done. First in the West, I'd say.
Well, we haven't clinched first.
No, but we clinched a playoff berth.
Yes, we clinched a playoff berth, which means
we were the first in the Western Conference to clinch a playoff berth.
Once we clinched the playoff berth, I could now unclinch my buttocks.
Very good, very good. Let me just quickly run through the summaries, and if you're curious at all about death, just to have a listen to who's scoring in these last few games. Most recently, on Thursday night, we had Ottawa in the barn. Rematch against Ottawa. It was only 2-1 the first game, but we all know Ottawa's a shit show. And this time, the score was a little more revealing to the play. A 5-1 win. Goals from Hathaway, Mangiapane, Backlund, Frolik, and Mark Giordano. That Gio goal, pretty sweet, eh? Short-handed breakaway.
Yeah, and when you score when it's 4-1 is one thing, but he scored when it was 1-0 for Ottawa. So yeah, that was probably the turning point.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Ottawa got off to a pretty good start, caught Calgary on the heels, but that quickly changed, I guess. I wouldn't say quick. Ottawa had some moments of strength, but there was really never any worry in my mind, even when they were up 1-0.
No, it's just we have too much skill compared to an Ottawa team that's kind of traded away all their skilled players. So, yeah, it was an expected win. And as you said, the depth really came through.
Probably the most interesting game for me this week was Columbus. Calgary pulled it off 4-2. Rick and net made some great saves. Goals by Goudreau, Mangiapane, Frolik, Kachuk. Again, some pretty depth. Mangiapane's name's coming up pretty often here.
Yeah, and we were talking about this during the Ottawa game, that to have a fourth line where you have Derek Ryan, Mangiapane, that's two pretty skilled players to be on your fourth line. And then Hathaway, he's not as skilled as those guys, but he's a good grinder, gets the puck. Like, he's a great fourth line player. But Hathaway will probably never play again with guys as skilled as Mangiapane and Ryan.
Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, Ryan was on the top line against Columbus.
Yes, when we had the injuries, right?
Yeah.
He went up to the top line.
Yeah, so Hathaway got, I think, I can't remember who assisted his goal, but he was in the right place at the right time, which I guess is how Hathaway scores. Although his shooting is pretty nice this hour, he's becoming a decent shooter, when before there really wasn't much there.
Yeah, and Mangiapane is a great shooter. He's a great release on his shots.
Yeah, Mangiapane is the best shooter of the fourth line, I'd say.
Yeah, you just see it the way he releases the puck. It's impressive.
So before that Columbus win was the only loss this week to Winnipeg. You called a shootout to overtime loss. You thought they would get that 1 point. Close. This was, I guess, maybe one of the more boring games, but it was tight. It was played tight. It was 2-1. Riddick again made some pretty good shots, but not much offense from either side. Jankowski grabbed a shorty for the Flames, and that was the only goal.
Yeah, and Goudreau hit the post twice, but it was a back-to-back.
Yeah.
We had to fly to Winnipeg. It was an early game, and we had no Monahan and no Bennett.
Yeah.
Maybe Bennett's not as big an impact, but still no Monahan.
Yeah.
So it was a tough situation, and the Flames, like, they played good considering everything.
I agree. Before Ryan really started fitting in with Goudreau, I thought that without Monahan was a huge gap. I thought not having him kind of shows like how much he really does. I guess I was kind of down on him during his cold streak, so not having the line at first, I felt like they were missing something. But Ryan steps up, fills the shoes.
Yeah, and I think Ryan can do that for short term.
Yeah.
But definitely when Monahan comes back, like he was back this last game.
Yeah, against Ottawa, he was up to his usual tricks in front, getting passes, great opportunities. Anderson stoned him a couple times.
Yeah.
So he didn't end up on the score sheet, but his play was there, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with you that he had a good game even though he didn't get on the score sheet. But he is a kind of a quiet star anyways. Yeah. He's not that flashy. He just kind of goes about his business.
Yeah, builds up points.
As Rudy would say, he's perfectly something.
So he's summarized perfectly by these lists of points you will see.
Anyways, Rudy was praising his consistency, which is true.
Yeah.
He's a great, consistent first-line center.
He has gone in slumps. I think he can go like 5-6 games a point, but
he still contributes.
Top line, consistent. And to start off for the end of last weekend, we killed the Rangers 5-1. Again, a good performance by Riddick. 2 goals by Tkachuk, 1 by Goudreau. Hathaway again, Frolik. Man, so the recurring theme here is Hathaway, Mangiapane, and Ryan's names been coming up lately. This is depth.
Yes, I agree with you.
Along with the 3M and the top line, that's a lot of production. So third line, Jankowski, who got that shorty, Bennett, who's been injured,
and Zarnik, who's kind of gone quiet.
Not really. Zarnik assisted. I think he assisted in Columbus. I got his name on here, so he did contribute a little bit, and I'd say he plays well.
He's good. He's not like, if I compare him to Mangiapane, maybe it's recency bias, but I think Mangiapane is a better player.
No, I think it's recency bias. I think Zarnik has more skill. I think he contributes more, like, in the play. I don't know. It's tough to say. They're close. But this is one of those good problems for sure.
Yeah, it's a great problem. But I'm willing to put my flag in the ground and say that in a year's time, Mangiapane will prove that he's the superior player.
Yeah, Japan is a couple years younger, so he's got more time to develop.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big age difference, but yeah, there's a little bit there.
Yeah. So we left last time we left. I think it was a 4-game win streak. We killed the Rangers and just dropped one against Winnipeg. So we've been winning a lot.
Yeah, and
playing pretty strong, clinching playoff berths. San Jose's been dragging their heels, which kind of lead us into the home stretch.
Yeah, should we look at the standings, see where we're at?
Let's do it.
So Calgary now sits first in the Western Conference. We have 99 points.
Man, we've been sitting first for a long stretch. We dropped to San Jose for a little bit, I think, during that 4-game losing streak. But
yeah, because they won 4, we lost 4, and they gained 8 points on us.
Yeah.
But now we've gained back because San Jose is sitting with 94 points.
They're on their 4-game lose streak.
Exactly. So we've got a 5-point lead again. And there was a stat I saw that if San Jose goes 7 of 8 in their last 8 games, because both teams have 8 games left. So if San Jose wins 7 of 8, Calgary just needs to win 4 of 8 to clinch first place.
Which is pretty fair they'll do, given their schedule. I think they only play one more playoff team. Oh, which is San Jose, I guess.
Yeah, they have a favorable schedule, so odds are in our favor.
Well,
Knock on wood.
So does San Jose. I think the Calgary-San Jose matchup might be... I don't think it will decide, but if it comes to the deciding game of who's going to finish first, that'll be quite something.
Yeah, it'd be entertaining.
Yeah.
But I kind of hope it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, I hope we've solidified first place long before then, which will require wins by us and more loss by San Jose, but it can happen.
And some transactions this week. Our good friend Curtis Lazar was recalled from Stockton.
Oh, yes. I failed to mention he was in on the Columbus game.
Blocked a shot.
A heavy shot.
I noticed 2 things about him. One was the shot block, and he got the standing ovation, which is nice for the guy. But the other thing was in the first period, he blew his coverage and pulled the puck out of the back of the net. So he was back in Curtis Lazar form. And yesterday he got sent back down to the minors. So I guess it was just a 1-game call-up. And then the other transaction, which was interesting, is we signed Luke Phillip to an entry-level contract.
Yeah, never heard of him. I don't know anything about him.
I just know what Brad Treliving said during the intermission.
Yeah, U of A, like Ryan.
Yeah.
U of A player.
And they said that, he'd be like a Derek Ryan type.
Yeah.
So...
Well, they went to the same school.
No, they didn't go to the same school. They were saying that their journeys are similar in that they...
No, they did go to the same school. Both University of Alberta.
Okay. I didn't catch that. I thought they were just comparing the style of player. But either way, it's assigning a guy we don't know. But hopefully they found a diamond in the rough there.
Yeah. With that, another Ryan.
And speaking of transactions, we have some injuries. Sam Bennett came back, played about half a game, and went back on injury reserve.
Not good for your $5, which will soon be in my pocket.
Isn't it points per game? Yes, me and Dan have a bet. I said that Bennett would get at least 30 points this year, and Dan doubted him.
I disagreed.
And you disagree. And so far, you are in the right, but there's still 10 games to go. 8 games to go.
He's still trending for that 30 point. I think he's at 28 now.
He's getting close.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got the stats here. Sam Bennett, 26.
26, 4 points.
There's a chance.
8 games. He's got to get healthy, and he's got to light up.
He did have a 4-goal game once, so
yeah, that's true.
That would help a lot. And then the other injury is James Neal is getting close to coming back.
Yeah. Just in time for playoffs.
Exactly. He may play on Saturday was the rumor. And my question for you is, when he comes back,